Hey everyone, my name is Allie and I'm a resident here in Spalding County, Griffin specifically. I was on a discussion this morning and it was about how we could help homeless people more during this season. Like it's rough outside, it's cold. I am so blessed to have a roof over my head and clothes and, a blanket, and I'm still so cold sometimes. But I saw just the most hateful comments, and this is honestly, truly the meanest city I've lived in, or that I've just been aware of the meanness. It's like they need to go. They're mentally ill, they're on drugs, which is true. I'm not going to deny the fact that a majority might be on drugs. And what they do with that money is between them and God, but what you do with your money is between you and God as well. Your job is to love one another. And don't act like you haven't gone through any struggle in your life where you needed help at some point. I mean, it's just the things people were saying were so hateful, I can't even go. Not like gonna call any names. I should have printed it out. It hurts my heart, like truly. Like, this is a season of love and, worshiping God, and we're just. I had mentioned something about tiny houses, and I want to get into that later, but there was one comment that said something about disabled people too. That sickness should just handle that. Let the sickness handle it. It's hard enough to take care of myself. Yada yada. And I just want to say real quick, look at me. I got up for this sole purpose. If you look at me, you don't assume that I'm disabled at 22 years old with Crohn's, lupus, I have SLE, which is the lupus, endometriosis, Graves' disease. That's 3 autoimmune diseases. I'm being tested for more. I've already flagged for more. You wouldn't look at me and think that I'm sick because I can get dolled up and be so pretty, because on the outside I look okay. And no one's going to sit here and think that I have failing kidneys and brain atrophy where my brain is shrinking. Like, I can't work anymore because I can't be in my dream job, managing a beautiful tanning salon here in Griffin. And my brain is shrinking. Like, things like, I kind of blank out for seconds like that. Like, I couldn't be in the UV rays. I did what I could. I did what I wanted to do. I want to work. I don't want to, have to depend on others for help. But people like me matter. And I'm at home taking care of a going on 2-year-old. She's 1.5. And that is not easy. That's the most important job in the world, of raising a good child for the next generation to come, because, I mean, look what this world is coming to. I matter. My life matters. And I can't help that I have these issues at 22. I did not ask for them. They just came upon me this year. And you know what? That's fine. I'm going to glorify God through it. He didn't give me these diseases. Just like God did not give addiction. These are all things, like sins, the weight of the sins of the world. It's all the bad. Evil is everywhere. Satan is seeking like a lion to devour. Be the change you want to see in the world. Like, it just blows my mind. Like, why don't you want to help each other? I promise you, this city could gather enough money easily to put a little community of tiny houses for the homeless people. Because I'll tell you what, when I did have a job and I did have money, I did get to know people out that were on the streets, truly homeless. There was a man who didn't even want my money. He didn't want to take it. I tried to give him $20. He didn't want it. I made him take it. Sat and talked with him for a minute. Actually turned into 30 minutes. Got to know him. He was a veteran. The VA's not coming through for him. I mean, there's another guy I met who has a very serious disease who lives in his truck. And if you would sit down and get to know the person, I mean, treat them like a human and not like a rat on the side, like of a corner, you might be surprised at the change that could come into this world if we would love one another. I mean, listen to this. Matthew 22:37. Jesus says, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second too, the greatest commandment is love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. The world would be so much better, so much happier, and a better place to live. And think of our future children. What kind of place do we want to leave for our children here in this town if this is where we're going to be? Like, put your holier than thou self down. Put down your stones. And open your arms. You wouldn't, like I said, you wouldn't look at me. I have some of you, I don't even know if you're on this page. You're probably not. People at Walmart telling me, oh, you know, some people say I look like a model, and then I get ugly looks. People telling me when I was at my worst, down to almost 100 pounds, that I was looking anorexic or like a junkie. Because when I'm not all dolled up, I look like a junkie. Because a lot of the times I have holes all up and down my arms because I'm in the hospital all the time, and nobody would know. Because y'all just assume and judge books by their covers, and to be truthful, all of you are just seconds away from anything horrible that could happen to you. You could get in a horrible accident and be paralyzed from the waist down and need the help from other people. Is your life not worth it anymore? No, you find purpose in what you do. Us disabled, rat, unwanted people, whatever, that should just, sickness should just handle. We serve purposes. I have a Bible blog. I want to make change, like actually try to get something going for these homeless people. No one should be sleeping out in the cold anywhere, not just Griffin, anywhere. And all this applies everywhere. I mean, there's bad everywhere, there's homelessness everywhere, there's hate everywhere, and it's got to end if you want change in the world. It just has to end. You got to put God first. You need to do your part and love your neighbor. And we're not just talking about the people next to you. We're talking about everybody. Everyone. We are all together. Like, we are in this together. We all share this planet. I'm sick and tired of it. Get it together. Griffin, get it together everywhere. America, the world. It's time for a change of heart, and that only comes through Jesus Christ. And that's all I can say. I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and God bless.